Hey there, my fellow writers. Welcome to another episode of From Writer to Author, the podcast. I'm your host, Veronica G, and I'm so glad you're here. Every Monday, I dive into the real, sometimes messy, always rewarding world of writing and self-publishing. Because let's face it, this author journey isn't for the faint of heart. It's for the dreamers who dare to finish what they start. Last week, we talked about the difference between dabbling and committing. And today, we're going to talk about something that stops a lot of writers before they even begin. Finding your book idea that actually sells, while still feeling true to yourself. Because yes, it is possible to write what you love and sell books. The trick is finding that sweet spot between your passion and your reader's needs. And trust me, I learned that lesson the hard way. Now, you've probably heard people say, write what you love. And well, that's a beautiful sentiment. It's only half the truth. Because here's the thing. If you write only what you love without understanding what your readers actually want, you might end up with a book you adore that no one buys. And yeah, that was me. After my first book flop, I thought, okay, I'll stick with what I know. So I dove into writing more books about social media marketing. After all, I'd been a social media manager for small businesses, nonprofits, and individuals for years. It made perfect sense to me to write about that. At least it did to me. But the problem was, I hadn't done any real research. I just assumed that because everyone uses social media, everyone would want to read about it. Well, spoiler alert, they didn't. Those social media books did okay, but they weren't exactly flying off the shelves. The truth was, people weren't looking for another book about Facebook or Instagram tips. And honestly, who could blame them? It's not exactly a riveting subject, and the social media landscape changes so fast that by the time you hit publish, half your content's already outdated. And that's when the frustration really hit me. It's at that point I started to doubt myself again. I really began to wonder if I'd ever make this whole author thing work. That's when I decided to ask, and actually listen to, my book coach. I figured if I was going to do this, I needed to learn how to do it right. I was done floundering around, throwing my ideas at the proverbial wall to see what stuck. My coach took one look at my topics and said, Veronica, you've got the talent to make this work, but you're writing books people don't know they need. You've got to start with what they're already searching for. At first I resisted. She wanted me to write about retirement. Retirement! I thought, what do I know about that? I'm not retired yet. But then I realized I am part of that generation. Gen X is starting to retire now, and honestly, we're not doing it quietly. We're redefining it with humor, energy, and creativity, just like we've done with everything else in our lives. So I took a deep breath and decided I was going to trust the process. I began researching what people were asking about on Amazon and in Facebook groups. I looked at search trends. I studied what readers were actually buying. And wouldn't you know it, the data was screaming, people want fun, inspiration, and ideas for what to do after retirement. So I wrote 151 fun things to do in retirement, and that one decision began to change everything. That book and the series that followed hit multiple Amazon bestseller lists and even reached international bestseller status. And it was then that all of a sudden my monthly royalties started growing. And it was all because I found that balance between writing something I enjoyed that also met a reader's needs and wants. That, my dear friends, is the sweet spot. So you might be asking about now, how do I find that sweet spot as a writer? Well, you start with these 3 steps. Step 1, listen first, write second. Start hanging out where your readers hang out. Join Facebook groups, read reviews on Amazon, and scroll through the comments on books similar to the one you want to write. Pay attention to what people are asking. What do they find frustrating? What excites them? And what's confusing them? That's where your next book idea is hiding. Step 2, research the data. Go to Amazon and start typing keywords related to your interests. If those keywords show up in the top few suggestions, that's a real good sign people are searching for that topic. You can even use tools like KDP Rocket to dig deeper into demand and competition. Step 3, make it yours. Don't shy away from a topic because others have already written about it. Your story, your humor, your voice. That's what's going to make your book different. Remember, people don't just buy information, they buy connection. And as my husband always reminds me, you be you. The rest will follow. So if there's one thing I've learned, it's that writing what you love isn't the opposite of writing for profit. They can absolutely go hand in hand. When you focus on your readers' needs and weave your passion into solving their problems, that's when the magic happens. Your book becomes more than just words on a page. It becomes a bridge between your experience and their transformation. So my motivational takeaway for you today is this. Write what you love, but make sure it's what your readers need or want. That's how passion turns into profit. So before we wrap up, I want to invite you to join my weekly From Writer to Author newsletter. It's completely free and packed with encouragement, insider tips, and strategies to help you move confidently from dreamer to published author. You can sign up right now at www.goldspielcreativeenterprises.com or by clicking in the link in the show notes below. And remember, new episodes from Writer to Author, the podcast, drop every Monday. So be sure to subscribe, share it with a fellow writer, and let's keep growing together. Next week, we're diving into one of my favorite parts of the writing process. Episode 4 is called Steal My Book Outline Plan, From Idea to Organized Chapters. In the episode, I'll walk you through the process of how to turn your inspiration into a solid, strategic outline that keeps you writing and makes finishing your book feel totally doable. Until then, keep writing, keep believing, and remember, your story matters more than you know.